doing? Good.
Joe, making that transition from tight end to tackle, what were some of the biggest hurdles? How do you feel that will help you, as you project to the future?
Yeah, I think for me playing tight end was really helpful when it came to like my athletic ability, keep my feet quick. So that was huge when I transferred to tackle. Having that foot speed and that stuff already there, and once transferred to left tackle, it kind of simulated into like pass pro and stuff like that, and was really huge. The thing for me working on was get my punch and my strike down. That kind of wasn't as emphasized at tight end as a tackle.
Was it really easy to embrace the change in physicality?
I think for sure because I kind of saw it coming. My body was kind of growing. I was like, I kind of knew that was where I was going. So I started doing O-line drills while still playing tight end. So like the change was pretty easy for me.
What was your experience like being a captain at Notre Dame? How do you kind of learn to do that? And how's that going to help you at the next level?
Yeah, being a captain was a true honor. Being chosen by my teammates to do that. And for me, I've always tried to lead by example. Being a hard worker, and that kind of taught me to use my voice and find times when it was needed and times when it wasn't, and kind of still lead by example. But when I had to step in and say something, I found my voice that way.
How do you feel you physically throughout the year?
Yeah, for me, I think it all starts with my strike. Something that's very important. I have a pretty long upper body, so being able to use that strike and keep guys away from me is very important.
Joe, what do you know about the New York Jets? Did you meet them this week?
Yeah, I did meet with them this week. I know quite a bit. I know a few people on their staff, so it was a great visit.
And what would it be like to block Aaron Rodgers?
It'd be awesome. It'd be truly an honor to have, watch them growing up from Minnesota, Wisconsin. So I've seen a lot of them playing when we played for the Packers, so it'd be very cool.
Football in the family with your dad, but obviously hockey in the family as well. Why football, not hockey? When did you know that this was the path you were going to take?
Yeah, for me, hockey. I played hockey till second grade, but I was just too big for the skates. I always knew knew how to skate, but basketball kind of took over, so I let hockey, go to the wayside and focus on that.
What kind of feedback have you been getting from dogs this week?
Yeah, it's all been positive stuff. Always things to work on, get better. With bend and stuff like that, but it's been positive. Yeah, there's been a lot of legacy guys at Notre Dame, and it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, for me, the guy I always talk about was Tim Grunhard. That's who my dad played with, and Colin Grunhard was at Notre Dame. So he actually left the year I got there, but he helped recruit me. So we had a lot of conversations there, kind of sharing stories we've heard from our dads. What was that? Yeah, me and Michael had a great relationship. I leaned on him a lot, when I kind of got to play my freshman year, because he did as a true freshman, and kind of leaned on him and how he went through the change, of going to high school and expecting to play as a freshman. So we have a great relationship, and he's reached out to me through the process as well, yes. I have not.
You talk about hand striking, but talk about your approach when it comes to footwork.
Yeah, for me, I think I always talk about the first second. I think that's when footwork's most important. It gets you in that position to be able to mirror guys post the strike. So I think footwork is very important, and then getting you into that position so you can throw your hands. And then once you do throw your hands, it's all about staying in front of the guys, staying inside out. So I think it's very important.
You met with the Chicago Bears?
What was that? I have, yes. It was great. It was a lot of fun. Normal stuff. Went through film and worked through that stuff, and I had a great time. Yeah, I never actually played with him, but I do know him. He came back, and we were doing some drills and stuff, and I got to meet him, and great guy.
Talk about the experience of going and lost to Long Island. What was the energy among the team? Were there a little bit more nerves because you're playing overseas? Or do you think there was a little bit more?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. There was definitely more juice than nerves, I would say. We had a blast over there. There was a great crowd. I've never seen that many, people, Irish fans in a stadium like that. I thought it would be kind of split, but, that stadium was filled with Irish fans, and it was a lot of fun to play over there. I didn't have any. No, but I wasn't 21 at the time, so I didn't get to have any. So.
Talk about the role that film study plays in your preparation. When you're going up against some of the top DNs, is more of what you're choosing to put on them based on what you're seeing on film and their weaknesses, or is that more of an instinctual decision?
Yeah, for me, film study is the most important, and I would say I definitely break down each opponent and see, what their rush patterns are, what's it powers and more finesse, and that's kind of how I game plan around them. If I'm going to be, setting them shorter, setting them how I set them, how I throw my hands, when I throw my hands. So it's definitely, starts in the film room, and then I work those moves that I see on film with some of the guys on my team, and kind of get a feel for how I want to approach it during the game. Yeah, no, I've got to know him, and he's a great guy. I've had a lot of fun, getting to know him. This is the first time I met him here at the Combine. I think we have very, silver mental and, approaches to the game. It's been a lot of fun to get to know him.
Do you spend time watching his tape at all, or do you kind of stay away from that?
No, I mean, I watched his tape just because he played some of the opponents we've played, so it kind of comes through naturally. So I got to see him and watch him play and how he approached some of the guys I played. Yeah, I don't pay too much attention to that kind of stuff. I like to keep my head down and just keep working each and every day, and that stuff is going to take care of itself when it comes to that time.
When discussing you and Olu, athleticism always comes up for him, but polish comes up for you. Do you feel that athletic part of your game is something that's underrated?
I do a little bit. I think for my size, I'm very athletic in my foot speed. Being able to both, have the length and use my feet very well is something that I wouldn't say underrated, but something that I take a lot of pride in my game as well. Yeah, my dad actually did the same thing I did. He played tight end his first 2 years of college and ended up playing offensive line. So he was the one who told me to play tight end, and it was just kind of still to keep the game fun and keep my foot speed fast because we kind of naturally knew the game was going to be transformed to tackle just the way my body was growing. Yeah, for me it was when I got to Notre Dame, obviously I knew I was going to play tackle, so I took a lot of pride in getting there and getting ready. And when I got that opportunity, I made a commitment to myself that if I get this opportunity, I'm not going to let it go. So, I put all the time and effort and work into it and put a lot of time in the film room. I think that was most important for me to kind of get, the speed of the game under control and allow me to really learn what I needed to do. Yeah, no, I met with them. It was a great interview, great meeting. Got to learn more about the organization. It was a great time. I have, yes. It was great. Got to spend a lot of time with the new offensive line coach. Got to work some, go through my film and work some stuff, and it was a good time. Yeah, I think for me it's just like I'm a very competitive guy, and one of the things he always, taught me at a very young age is refusal to lose and how to approach things. No matter what you got to do, if that means jumping and giving one last push or whatever it is, you got to not let that guy beat you or get to the ball. I did meet the Chargers. It was a great interview. Really got to get to meet Coach Harbaugh. It was a good time. For me, it was always like I didn't get recruited by Michigan, but getting to meet him on that level was very cool. Yeah. It was awesome. He's a great, other than obviously the little I've met and got to know him, he's a great guy, and it was a really fun interview. I have, yes. It was formal. It was awesome. It was a great time. I was actually waiting outside, and he actually came up from behind me, and we got to kind of talk a little bit before and got in there, and it was a great interview. I like I said, it's obviously an honor to be put in this position, but haven't really looked too far into that kind of stuff. I've just kind of kept my head down and trying to work, and when that time comes, it'll come. I did, yes. It was a great interview. Got to learn more about the offense and how they ran a couple plays. You worked through that stuff, so it was good to meet him.
What are you saying in those meetings to sell yourself?
Yeah. For me, I think my love of the game, I've been raised in a football family my whole life, watched it. My brother did it. Obviously, my dad did it. So my love of the game is something I sell in my competitive nature. I take a lot of pride. And like I said earlier, the refusal to lose mindset and just whatever it takes to get the job done, I'm going to do. And that's what I've kind of been trying to sell. Yeah, no, it definitely has come up. I've been preparing for it as a combine. I also played tight end in high school, so I've been able to put my hand on both sides of the ball and I've been working it. I did some tackle over this season and then been working in the combine training time. Yeah, I think for me, I always start with the playbook and making sure I understand that fully and kind of get that grasp. That's how I kind of play my fastest and play my, most instinctual and competitive game. So I think that's most important. And for me, it's just, continue to learn the new speed and get that, get everything wired into that change in the game. It's a blast. We're actually roommates, so we get to come back every night or leave every morning together, and it's just been a lot of fun, just kind of continuing what we did in college to the next level. I've played left, so I naturally feel more natural there, but I don't have a preference. I've been working both and feel comfortable at both spots.
Just so you're really calm and relaxed, but obviously you got to have that aggressive mindset on the field.
Yeah.
What is it that allows you to flip that?
Yeah, I think, like I said, it's that competitive gene in me. When I step on that field, it's a different person. It's a laser focus, and it's like I said, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win that play, and refuse to lose. Let my guy get to the ball.
What about other things you're competitive with?
Oh, I'm competitive with everything. I think for me, outside of football, I've always been, competitive in like board games, stuff like that. I have a whole bunch of older brother and brother-in-laws, stuff in the backyard, playing cornhole, stuff like that, spike ball. We've always been competitive. It's been in the family since I was a kid. Oh, best board game. It's not even a board game, but I've been playing a lot of Uno recently. I'm a big fan of Uno. I don't know. It's a fun game. Yeah. Well, see, I watched a lot of YouTube videos when I was playing Uno, but I guess some of my rules are not real. Like the stacking +2, I guess it just came out and said that's not real. So I guess I've been cheating, but it wasn't intentional. I made sure the rules were set out before we started playing. Yeah, but I explained them, so I guess kind of own rules, but yeah. Yeah, for me, I'm definitely reading the defensive end. I like to throw, curveballs in there in my sets and, change it up with a, short set, getting on guys earlier. But for me, it's a lot about reading, the pre-snap and then in-snap, how they're rushing, what's their angle.
The Bears run outside zone heavy scheme.
Yeah.
How do you fit that?
No, that's one of the things that I really try to prioritize in my game. We didn't run a ton of it at Notre Dame, but I've always wanted to and really took a lot of passion in, being able to do that and work the footwork and work the technique a lot. So I really enjoy outside zone.
If you had to single out a particular block of your career, which one stands out to you most?
There was a double team with me and my left guard during the Cal game my sophomore year. I think we double teamed about 20 yards down the field. That was probably the best one. Yeah, I would say probably, good question. I would say JT from Ohio State this year was probably the best, or last year Miles Murphy from Clemson were the two best I faced. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of talk about that, and I've never really looked at it that way. I think obviously both tackle positions are very important, and it's one of the roles of the 11. It's one of the 5 on the offensive line, and I take a lot of pride. 5 is 1 on the offensive line. Everyone's got to be doing their role, so I think there's not really like a weight scale. It was a long thought process for me. I took a lot of consideration with my father and how he did it and what we talked about, and I said I feel like I had a calling from God and was put in this position, so I had to take advantage of that and listen to the calling and move on to the next step. Yeah, my guy Charles Jagasai and Tosh. I've been working with Tosh since I've been there, so I'm excited to see him play. And then Charles, a younger guy, we'll get excited to watch him. I got to watch him at the bowl game and watch him have a lot of success, so it was a lot of fun. I got one semester left, roughly. So, we'll get that done hopefully next spring. Yep. What am I, my major? Mechanical engineering. Yep. I have not. Yep. I'm throughout this process, and my dad has a teammate who yep. Well, I guess when my dad, early on, I was still a young kid, so he knows me from that. But I've obviously met him a few times, and the relationship has grown through there. Yeah, obviously retired now, but Joe Thomas is someone I watch. His changeup of sets, and then I think Lane Johnson, his approach to the snap count and the first second of every snap, and how he does things is something I admire and try to do with my mental side.
One more. You know what the Jets run, but how do you feel like you fit into their system or their specific scheme?
Yeah. I feel like at Notre Dame, we hit a lot of different offensive schemes. We hit power, we hit the inside zone, the outside zone, the pin and pull stuff. So, I feel confident in a lot of the different offenses that are being seen. I think I can, work to get better at whatever one it's going to be.
Thanks, guys. Your favorite block in your career, but what was a moment in your college career where somebody got your number?
Ooh. Let's see. I'm trying to think. There was one this year. Maybe a bad camera angle on it, but against Louisville that I might have got, thrown my butt. But I'm not going to say too much. I think might have been a leg underneath mine, but I'll let you guys look at that if you want to.
That's it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.